So, last night was okay. We all managed to stay water dogger free. He never found us, and it was fine. And then I took my socks off, and I had a blister the size of a golf ball on my left foot, and one almost that big on my right foot. And I got so pissed off and frustrated, and I was in so much pain last night, that I decided I was going to hitchhike today, but I'm not having much luck. I have walked 2 miles, and I'm wearing my fashionable flip-flops, and nobody wants to pick me up. So I just managed to squish my feet back into my shoes, but I can't tie them all the way. I don't know if you saw that. But the pain isn't excruciating right now. It was last night and it was this morning. But it's not excruciating. So I'm thinking maybe I should just try to walk. So I only have 31 more miles to go. But we'll see. I don't know what's wrong with me. Nobody wants to pick me up. I hate New Mexico. Peanut M&Ms. You are not going to fucking believe what just happened to me. After, oh, we got a dog. Hey, how you doing? Go with mommy. Go with mommy. Oh, you're fine. I have a feeling I know why that dog likes me. I'm holding a bucket of fried chicken at the moment. Get the awesome shot of me unlocking this door if I know how to operate it. Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't look like too many people were murdered in here, so that's good. So this is what just fucking happened to me. Alright, I'm like, I must have like, I don't even know. I was eating my peanut M&Ms, and I was like, fuck it, alright, let's just go. It's gonna be okay. I'll just walk 26 more freaking miles, and I'll get there tonight. And then I see this truck, and I'm like, oh, might as well. And so I turn around, and I'm like, giving it, sad face, my thumb up, hitchhiker style. And he passes me, and I just drop my arms on my head, and I'm just like, ugh, fuck it, whatever. And then I look up, and he's pulling over onto the shoulder, and I'm running, I got my backpack, I'm running, trying to catch up. And I opened up the door, and I had $20 in my pocket. I took it out. But I was like, I have $20 if you can get me to Grant's. And he goes, I don't want your money. Throw your pack in the back. And I was just like, oh my god. So I opened up the door, and there was like this dog in there. And I was like, thank you so much. And he was like, no offense, but I think you're kind of crazy. And I was like, what? And he was like, no girl needs to be out here alone hitchhiking. he's like, do you have a weapon? And I was like, no, I have a knife. And he was like, is it a big knife? And I was like, not really. And he is like, if I had my other one with me, I'd give it to you right now. He goes, I always carry a pistol. And I was just like, okay. And then there was a bucket of chicken in the floor that was like half eaten. It was 20 pieces, and I probably have about, I don't know, 7 or 8 pieces left. I already had one piece. This is my napkin. He was like, do you need a napkin? I was like, sure. Because I was getting chicken everywhere in his car. And he's like, I got a roll of toilet paper. So he used a roll. Anyway, so then he starts telling me about how his name is Steve, okay? He starts telling me about how he used to live in Hollywood. And his fucking roommate was Axel from Guns N' Roses. And how, like, they would, like, ride on his motorcycle together. And how the bass player, Duffy, of Guns N' Roses would sell ink toner to people in New York. And that was their only source of income for years. And then he was telling me that, like, he used to be, like, a freelance, like, model and stuntman in Hollywood. And he's like, but I just got so fed up with the city life that I moved out here, and now I just like I watch movies, and I have a 3,000 movie film collection in my house. He goes, the only place there's not a movie is on the ceiling. And then he was telling me about how like he did like some gold rush exploration thing or something in somewhere in Alaska, like off the coast of Alaska, like closer to Russia than anywhere. And, oh, ow, fuck. And then, I'm tired. And then what else? Oh, yeah, and then I was like, he's like, you're going to Grant's? And I was like, yeah. And then, like, he passed the sign to Grant's. I was like, oh, I think that was Grant's over there. And he goes, oh, I don't go to the town much. And he was like, well, you just please, because you seem like an intelligent girl. He was like, but have some fucking common sense. And I was like, what? And he was like, get a weapon. And he was like, and stop hitchhiking. He was like, how come you can't find someone to drive you around, or I mean to travel around with you? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I mean, you don't have a boyfriend or an uncle that will travel with you? And I was like, well, I have a boyfriend, but he has a job and he has other things he has to do. And he was like, your boyfriend lets his girlfriend travel and hike all by herself? Sounds like a keeper. And he was like, but I'm not gonna judge. And then what else? Oh, he's just like some old cowboy. And then he was like, take the chicken. I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, just take it. And I'm like, oh my god. And now I'm at the Sands Motel, $35 a night. And I am oh, ow. I tried to kick off my shoe, but it's not gonna work. The blister on my heel is so big. But it looks like I have service, so I need to call my parents, because I'm sure they think I'm dead. Okay, so I managed to call home for the first time since Silver City, because I have AT&T, so I have like zero service. Oh gosh, I just spent so much time on the phone, it wore me out, and I just like passed out. But I just took a shower. I didn't wash my hair though, because I gotta get some serious conditioner before I wash my hair, otherwise I'll end up pulling all my hair out and being a bald Darion if I don't use good conditioner, because this stuff is pretty ratty. Well, you know. But just a quick recap on last night and Water Dogger. So we were walking, or I was behind Jandals and Nightcrawler, and we were walking, and I see Jandals and Nightcrawler ahead of me up at the intersection of these two roads with Water Dogger, and like he's offering us beers and stuff, and like I show up and he's like, you want a beer? And I'm like, yeah, like, 'cause I have not been raised to turn down a free beer. Well, maybe I have. but that's not me. So I accepted, and I took like half of a shot of the peppermint schnapps that he was offering, but not that much because I was having a hard time staying hydrated yesterday. I drank 1.5 gallons of water yesterday, and I still felt thirsty. But so I thought it was just like kind trail angel type and everything, and then Jandals took like 6 or 7 shots, and Jandals was like, yeah, like we're gonna be camped up there, like a mile or like 6 miles up if you want to join us and everything. And this guy was like, oh my god, yeah, like he was so shit-faced, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and get my stuff. And like sure enough, he comes back and he's looking, and he meets up with us, and we still haven't reached camp. But long story short, we heard him driving up and down the road all night last night, and like revving his engine and like speeding up and slowing down, like in that same stretch that we were. And then like at 3 in the morning, and I asked Wallace and Monster when I saw him this morning, and I was like, did you guys hear at like 3 a.m. some guy just like laying on his horn for like 3 miles? And everyone was like, yeah. And they were like, it was that same guy. So let this be a lesson to not get drunk with strangers. Or, no, get drunk with strangers, but just don't tell them where you're camped. Because that turned into an iffy situation. And me being, number one, safety and everything, I have an orange tint, and all the other guys had green tints. So I'm like, the one he's going to see is going to be mine. But we're all safe. We're all good. But I actually was a little bit worried today while I was hitchhiking that he might show up again. But that's just another thing to be worried about is when you're out in the middle of nowhere, there are a couple of crazies and a couple of drunks that might give you some problems. And all he wanted was a good time, like honestly. But I don't think we were down for that. I wasn't. So right now, I managed to get my feet back in my boots and just tie them barely. And I am walking, it's like over 1.5 miles to Walmart. And I'm walking there, and the wind is really bad. And I'm regretting not bringing my rain jacket because it looks like it might pour here soon. But I'm going to Walmart to get some Epsom salts and some Body Glide, maybe some compression shorts if they have them. Again, like my thighs don't even touch anymore when I put my feet together, but somehow there's just like these giant rashes right in my inner thigh, and it's excruciating. And I'm also going to pick up some different camp shoes, and I might end up throwing these boots in the Walmart trash can. So while I was at Walmart, as soon as I walked in, this woman that works there was like, no backpacks. She was talking about this. I was like, no, it's my purse. And she was like, no backpacks allowed in the store. And I was like, no, I walked 350 miles here. I don't have a backpack. And then I was like, wait, like, a backpack is all that I do have. But I was like, no, like, I swear, I'm not a thief. Like, it's just got my jacket and my wallet in it and stuff. So anyway, I dealt with that. And then some guy walks up to me while I'm trying to look for some like Vaseline or balm or like anti-chafing stuff. And this guy walks up and he goes, you hiking around? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And he's like, that's awesome. And he hands me a pamphlet And it was like God's spoken word, like, I don't know, I didn't read it. I just stuck it in with the petroleum jellies. But now I'm walking to the brewery on the infamous Route 66. This is it. This is it behind me. And in case you're wondering why Junkyard Brewery is called Junkyard, it's because it's junkyard. Hi. So tonight, oh my gosh, oh god, I look like shit. What's new? So after I went to the store, I went to the Junkyard Brewery, and I met these girls, Victoria and Kara. And Victoria is a local of Grant's, and I'm watching TV, or the TV was on. And I like got to talking to him, and like Victoria like is here, and then Kara like is from San Francisco, and she's like into contemporary art, like that's her job. And she was saying how she just moved to Gallop, New Mexico, and it's like this like really small town and everything. And then Henry, the guy who runs the bar, was like, "Is anybody hungry?" And so like he was like pouring beers and cooking. And so he made me 2 hot dogs, and then I had 3 alien ambers. So good, by the way. And while I'm drinking my 3rd one, I sent a message to, or I commented on my YouTube thing, and because this guy was telling me that he lives in Grants and he's willing to help out, and I was like, well, I'm at the Junkyard Brewery, and he shows up and he's like, Darion? And I was like, how? And you know, I've had 3 beers, and I'm like, wait, who are you? And he was like, no, like, you're Darion Carden, right? And I was like, wait, how have I, like, I've had 3 beers, am I already messed up? Like, have I met you before? And he was like, no, you just told me that you were here. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then, we kind of like, you know, met each other for a second, and then he was like, well, let me pay for your tab. Come to find out, Kara, the contemporary art person who just moved to New Mexico, got my tab for me, and she is so freaking sweet, and she's so freaking cool. And, gosh, like, thank you, Kara, like, you're awesome. And then, Mac, this guy's name was like, he was he's a surgeon here in Grants, and he was like, have you had dinner yet? I was like, well, I just had 2 hot dogs. And he was like, yeah, but I bet you're still hungry. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know. And he took me to this place called the Wild Diner, and I got some more fried chicken, and we had fruit and green beans and mashed potatoes, and it was so good. And that diner is awesome. Stephanie, her and her husband run that place. So freaking, it was an awesome like time escape diner. I really recommend it. And so I was telling him that how the 4 guys that I'm with, Jandals, Nightcrawler, Monster, and Wallace, how they're all coming in tomorrow, and he gave me his phone number, and he was like, give me a call. He's like, we can all come back here, or we can go wherever you guys want to go. He's like, I just really want to help out. And then he's telling me, he's like making fun of my trekking pole situation. So he gave me this super fancy, awesome new black diamond trekking poles, because I've just been using these like Mountain Smith ones that I've had since I was in high school. And he gave me those, and then he was like, well, what do you have for clothes? Like, you've got like tights and like long johns and stuff to sleep in at night. And I was like, no, like I was gonna get some tights or long johns when I get to Colorado or something. And so then we went to his house, and he gave me a polyester sweater and a pair of long johns. And I mean, dude is just freaking awesome. Like, Mac, you are the man. And then he dropped me off at my hotel here at the Sands Motel, and he was like, I feel like I'm gonna get shot here. And I was like, I kinda do too. But it's all good. I've had an awesome day. I've met so many freaking awesome, cool people, and I'm just so happy right now. So I'm gonna get some rest, and I am going to relax, and I'll see you tomorrow.